So we have a profit again. And let's see, our two profits were 19 and 12. 19 on the radio and 12 on our tape decks.
Wait, are we not going over number 3?
Oh, we started with 4. So there's our objective. Can we have negative radios or tape players?
No. So it's in the first project.
So we have radio greater than or equal to 0, tapes greater than or equal to 0, and then I say if they can manufacture at most. So does that mean that can they make more than?
No.
No.
Less than, R is less than or equal to 600 and T is less than or equal to 500.
Good. Perfect. And they have X amount of money to spend on, it costs them 12 to make a radio, and 10 to make a radio, and 12 to make a tape player. So that means they're bound by what they can afford to purchase to make parts. Yes, ma'am?
And then since I have 8400, it would be a 10R plus 12T
Good.
is less than or equal to 8400.
Perfect. And that's your last bit. So your first set of constraints give you your horizontal, your vertical lines, and then this last one gives your diagonal going across them. Okay? So with any luck, this should be all right. Yeah, this is my small class.
This is
There's only 32 in this one.
small. This.
Next hour, I have 36. I only have 35 chairs.
Oh.
So I always hope somebody's absent.
Somebody always absent.
Well, that person just added, so today will be the first day of trying to hope that somebody's absent. So wish us luck.
Good luck.
Someone gets your rolly chair.
No, it's my rolly chair. You guys smell funny.
True.
Now, does it matter where I place the R and the T?
Not really.
I'll probably put the R on the X and the T on the vertical. And honestly, the reason that I'm doing that is because I wrote the R value first, so and then I have to make a little note that it's RT. Excuse me. So let's see, we have 0, greater than 0, less than 600, so we are going out this way. And we'll just make a 600 line here. And we're coming back this way. And then we have a cap at 500. And it's moving down. And we know this point here is 600, 500. Where those two intersect.
Why would the 0,500 be going down with the 600? 0. Where is that going?
Which way it's moving towards the left because it's less than.
Oh.
Where are numbers smaller than 600? So,
Oh, okay. So that, okay. Yeah. Okay.
and you remember, because we're treating R as an X value, so it'd be vertical, and it's just moving backwards.
Okay.
And then we have to do our placements. So cover and solve. We cover and solve for the T, or excuse me, we'll do the R intercept first. 840. 840, and the other one is at 700.
Yeah. Wait, wouldn't it be lower than that?
Wait, how'd you? Oh,
Wouldn't-
someone?
Oh, 12. That's
that
what I
one.
did.
I didn't
So
do
it's
that.
7 times. Oh yeah.
Did you flip the axis by mistake?
No, I accidentally wrote 0,5,000. So then I put the 7 like
Oh,
below it, and
gotcha.
I was like, why
Yeah.
is that like that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so when you get numbers that wind up being, because we had the problem yesterday, we had the thousands. It's
Yeah, that's
so
what
easy,
I did.
things can get scaly up pretty crummy real quick.
Oh, so those two are always the same thing.
What do you
It's
mean?
like, I remember before 700, the point 700 and point 840, like, sometimes it'd be the same number, but like, you know.
Oh,
and then-
flipped? Yeah.
But like,
Oh, like
yeah.
this one was like a 2, this was a 3, and that was a 12, or 6, it would be 3. Yes.
Yeah,
And it always depends on the actual equation that you're getting.
yeah.
That's all.
okay.
They're not always opposite of one another.
Yeah.
It's not always 2, 3, and 6, so it's 3 and 2. And it's not always bubblegum and fuzzy bunnies.
Darn.
Or was it fluffy bunnies and rainbows? I don't know. I'm making this up and it's not working. So We do that. We have 2 intersection points. First of all, we gotta figure out which way it's shading. Are we okay that we know it's moving inward because 0 plus 0 is smaller than 8400?
Yeah.
So we have to find these 2 points. And it's always nice when you're on your vertical or your horizontal lines because you know what your x or your y value is. So I know that my y value here is going to be 500, but that's my, that's my t value. I simply solve for the r. And I know that this one will be 600, comma something else. I figured out what happened. I put a geometry video in by mistake.
Okay.
I didn't change it. I just noticed it. I didn't see it until this morning, and I looked at it like, oh, I linked the wrong one.
Yeah.
Sorry about
That's
that.
okay.
Sorry about that. If that ever happens, go to the 12th hour one.
Okay.
Hopefully I didn't screw up that one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I was like, this is a little.
Yeah. What I'm getting at here, guys, is when I linked the video, I might have accidentally, I linked the wrong one because I didn't copy and paste correctly, so if that ever happens, look at the 12th hour one, and then tell 12th hour to look at yours in case I screw up theirs. Getting these intersection points then, let's see, this would be 6,000, so it would be 2,400, so it would be 200?
Yeah.
So 600, 200. The other one would be 6, hey, look at that, 6,000 again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's easy, but then it's like 240.
How do you do with the password?
No, it's 145, or 845.
What?
It's not 240, it's
No,
845.
no, that, oh, okay. Right now, something trickier. Confusing.
We knew that 600 was the R value in our equation,
Oh, you can just plug it into the
Yeah.
19.
so I did 100, or 10 times 600.
We get the opposite one. So it
And that was just, I knew that was 6,000. 8,400 minus 6,000 was 2,400, and it's divided by 12. A lot of times you guys are going to see that when you're getting these intersection points, when you're given horizontals and verticals, it's really quick math at that point. So then we just have, let's see, 5 test points to go for to see which one gives us the biggest profit, one of which we could probably throw out. Which one do you think that is? 0, 0. You're not making any money if you're not selling anything. Did I explain to you guys exactly, or give you the correct term for these points?
Oh, yeah, shoot, I forgot.
So it wouldn't
I
be
saw.
just the triangle that's shaded, it would be the whole thing?
It's this whole region in here.
I think you told us yesterday.
Oh.
Those are called points of inflection.
Yeah.
It's the spot at which the graph is changing direction. And that's what gives you your outer boundaries for these style constraints. That's all. So if you ever hear something called a point of inflection, that's what it means. It's just where the graph is changing. Yeah.
I usually like, when I know it had, like, the graph has to be like bigger than 0 or like the same or bigger than 0, I usually like put the point like 0, 0, is that okay?
That's
So I know.
absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. Nope, not at all. And technically I should be, but I know that it's there, and I know that if I'm trying to maximize profit, I don't really care about it.
Sure.
So I start to get through some of those. So let's see, we've got our test points then to go through at
600,
so we have 19,
oh, 12.
so we have 19 times 0.
Oh.
Does everybody see what I'm doing here?
So you're plugging in all the points, so you can find your max or your, well, just your max, you don't just.
I'm just picking those out, and I'm disregarding the 0, 0 because gots to make money. And there, it's all you gotta do. I don't know, which one was it the 600, 200?
Yeah. No, I think it was the 0, for sure. Yeah, it was a 0, 0.
I hope you guys all do so well when you want to start your own business or whatnot. It was funny, we were talking about this stuff at 12th hour, and Hannah Olbert, her older brother Caleb was one of my students for 3 years. Lord help me. But he's at Northern right now, and he's taking business calculus. Business calc, it's he's actually doing basically the exact same thing by maximizing profits and stuff like that with a little bit of calculus thrown in there, off of polynomial stuff. So it's funny that she was doing her homework, she's asking him a question, he goes, I don't know how to do that. Shut up. Yes, you do. I taught you how to do it. Yes, ma'am. What do you got? You were
Never mind.
glad we had this discussion.
I keep on getting it the same, like the 240,500 is max too. 240 times 10. Oh, that's why. Jeez. Okay, sorry.
Would you just math better?
I know.
She's mad.
Ugh, I was
That-
doing the wrong.
I think that'd be a great thing for the math team. I probably will coerce some sophomores to be on the math team, because I know some of you guys did it before, because I meet people. And I'll have our first meeting will be next Wednesday, so. But I think it'd be a good shirt slogan. Can you just math better?
No. The back of your shirt should say no.
No.
Never.
The answer is no. All right, so let's go back and, wow. I apologize, I did not have this one run off. I think I posted it, but I don't, it's not a big deal. Let's do this. What I'd like to do today is I have a couple of problems that that I'll have you guys do out of the old textbook again. But I want to like do one more with you guys in class, and then just put them up on the board and have you open the Chromebook and just kind of have today be a little bit more of a work thing. Tomorrow, it being the half day, we'll do a little bit of review. To be honest with you, from the feedback of just yesterday, of how quickly you guys seem to have picked up on the word problem stuff, this might be the quickest that happened. So I'm very impressed by that. I am. I'm very impressed by that. So there are some other difficult ones, and I'm going to try and give you a couple of them today. And then on Friday, like we were planning to have a quiz. I'll probably have the quiz of maybe 2 of the word problems, a couple of system of equation things, maybe solve an equation here or there, because we had a lot of that little reduce stuff. I don't think I'm going to worry about any of that graphing, that absolute value stuff, because you can just press buttons and they calculate what's the point. And then we'll just do a little quiz on that. I haven't fully written it yet, but I can't imagine it'd be more than 6-8 questions. I don't want to overburden on the first one. I want you guys to do really well on a first quiz, just that way you start out the year on the really, really good foot. And then come following Monday, we will start with quadratics. I know for a fact right away next Tuesday I won't be here. I know you guys are already devastated. We have the annual, I think it's Mrs. Irwin though.
I don't even know who it is.
She's awesome.
Awesome.
So I'll be, I have to go to the math team the coaches meeting down in LaSalle, Peru. So
You're going for real?
yeah, pretty much, you're gonna try. And we have to go to Seneca Ridge Golf Course. Gee, that sounds like a really rough thing I have to go do. But our meeting starts at noon, but if we have a half-day sub, I can't get there by leaving at 11, so they give 7 I had the day off to go down to a meeting at noon that lasts about an hour. That could all be done by email. But hey, the districts pay for this stuff, because all the school districts are wealthy, and we have tons of money to do everything. Like, except air conditioning at Lincoln.
True.
Yeah, they have the thing on today.
Let's take a minute and go ahead and read through this one. I'll kill the light here. Oh, scratch that one. All we've been doing is trying to maximize profits. In this instance here, if we're going to minimize cost, that's our objective function. So we have to pull up the information that talks about cost. So chest freezer costs $250. An upright freezer is $400. So if I want to minimize cost, that means I have to have our objective function. It's probably call it C this time. That we don't, because you know how their book always called it C for the objective.
I was using C for my chest freezer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sure. Or P. Well, we can still use P's or whatever. It doesn't matter what you want to use. Your objective function. You want to use M for minimize, we'll do that. So we have the cost of a chest freezer was $250 for the chest freezer. And the upright freezer, I'm assuming you used You,
Yeah.
you crazy kids. All right. You want to minimize that cost. You want to. So let's see here. Based on previous sales, manager expects to sell at least 100. Yes, ma'am.
Can I say another thing?
Sure.
Whatever they're called. What are they called again?
Constraints.
Constraints?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. Another one would be 40C plus 60U is greater than or equal to 4,800 because your total profit must be at least 4,800.
Perfect.
Those are the profits that will.
So 48 or 40C.
Plus 60U is greater than or equal to 4,800.
Very good.
How'd you do that?
When you look through these problems, and this is one of the things you guys will start to take from this stuff, is that each one of these will talk about a couple of different things. One of them talked about cost. There was a profit, and then there's a number of units sold. So that means right there's 3 things I could probably come up with, and then I can add on top of that no negatives. Okay. So knowing that I have a profit here, and you see how the profit comes up 3 spots, you got the $40 profit, $60 profit, and total profit must be. That right there tells you, okay, there's some sort of combination going on that allows you to put them together. The last one, it also says that they expect to sell at least 100 freezers. It doesn't say what type of freezers, but some sort of combination of chest freezers and upright freezers must be at least 100.
What if there's some C plus U that is greater than or equal to 100?
Perfect. And then what's my last one to put in here? Careful. Can I have negatives freezers?
No.
It's the first block of stuff.
Oh.
And that's basically all you can get out of this. We all right with that? Yeah.
Oh, I guess it's like the same thing as we wrote before. I was just gonna say, like, would we write P, like making up the profit is greater than or equal to 4,800? That's like.
Yeah, it's because you're not trying to see how much to maximize your profit is. Because in this case here, you'll notice that there's no cap on the number of freezers and stuff that they could order. So what they're trying to do is figure out what's the bare minimum to minimize out their costs to sell at least this much stuff, to pay the rent, if you will. Okay? Did you get any on you? So, first quadrant problem. Let's see. If I go with C, U, cover and solve. So let's, got what? 40 into that would be 120. 80. Which way are we going? Outward or inward? Outward, because 0 plus 0, is it smaller than 4,800? No, it's moving out. Next one's really easy. 100 and 100.
What does that point say? Does that say 020?
Oh, it's an 8, sorry.
Oh, an 8, okay.
Geez, you've been in my class for like 2 weeks. Don't you understand my chicken scratch yet?
No.
I can't get you a closer seat. Will you stop dying in my classroom? Get a water bottle. Need water? Inward or outward?
Oh, wait.
Inward.
Out.
0 plus 0?
Okay, 0 plus 0 is,
So we have our change here, so it's moving this way. It comes through. So I gotta find out where those two lines intersect each
Why
other.
couldn't you check a point like in that triangle? Like why couldn't you do a point like 090 or something to check to see?
You can. But isn't it easier to add 0 plus 0?
Yeah, but like because that point like wasn't there before. Like because before like if the line was going from 080 to 120 so then you check the like the 0 point, you check the origin, so then you know that you're going out that way.
Yeah.
Then like once you draw the triangle, like if it's gonna be like on like if it's shaded on the inside of the triangle or the outside of the triangle.
Okay, this is shaded here as well. I went and just shaded the total overlap.
Okay.
Because this line here, anything behind it is false, anything above it is true.
I thought it was with the oh, okay. Because you just checked it again, right?
Yeah, and the only reason why I drew this arrow here instead of here is because I knew then that I had the overlap there.
Okay.
That's why I drew that arrow there. If that clears that up, because I think that's where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
so because 0 plus 0 is less than 100 and not greater than or equal to,
Because we always shade towards the truth. If it's false here,
but isn't that not true? Because 0 plus 0 is not greater than or equal
right, so it means it's false.
to, right?
So that means any point out here is true.
So you shade,
The truth.
but it's not true. So what did you say? The not, because it's not true, so it's like,
It's not true, so we don't shade it. If it's not true, it's false.
The 0 points on like that side of the line.
Remember how it splits it in two half planes? So if we go back and look at,
okay.
alright, if we go back here, when we drew this line going across,
Great, yeah.
I think that was this one. Is 0 plus 0 smaller than 8400?
Yes.
That's why we shaded towards the truth.
Right.
If this sign was flipped,
Okay.
0 plus 0 is no longer, so it's false, so we shade the other direction. We always shade towards the direction of the truth.
Okay.
Since this side was true, we shaded towards it. And the problem that we're looking at now, since it's false here, the other side's true. The test point we looked at happened to be false.
False. Oh, okay.
So the other side has to be true.
Okay, that makes more sense.
That's all it is. And it all boils back down to the old-fashioned x is greater than 6. Well, here's 6, here's 0, here's 10. Is 0 bigger than 6?
No.
Is 10 bigger than 6?
Yes.
So we shade
That.
towards the truth.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay? So now we have our test points. We just got to figure out where they ran into each other. This is another one of those. It never works.
It took Mr. Longhouse like all year to get it to work like really
Yes, sir.
Make a circle around.
I tried doing that. It just didn't want to work.
Switch back.
All I'm doing here. Yes, sir.
That clock is like not.
I know. It needs a battery. At least it's right twice a day. In this case here, I'm going to use substitution. I'm going to use substitution for solving it by saying C is equal to 100 minus U. So 40 times 100 minus U plus 60 U is 4,800. Remember, when I'm setting up these systems of equations, I disregard the inequalities, and I'm solving them via equals. 4 grand minus 40 plus 60. So we have 20 is 800, and And what is that? U is 40.
Wait, when did you come up with that first equation?
Yeah.
How did you get
I was a little
100 minus 2?
Okay.
I'm using substitution. I'm getting C by itself. It's quicker. Instead of doing scalar multiplying with all this, I just move the U over. It's just faster.
Wait, how do you know what are you doing?
There are, when you're solving systems of equations, there are basically 3 ways of doing it. Substitution, linear combination, or elimination. This one I saw as, since these both have coefficients of 1, just move one of them over, it's quick to substitute it, that's all. I'm just letting it equal it quicker. Instead of doing a scalar of multiplying the bottom one by 40 and then subtracting it together, you can do that also, it works the same way. I just thought that way was quicker. So if U is 40, what's C? 60. So this ordered pair is at 60 and 40. So you have 3 ordered pairs to check to see which one will minimize your costs. We are at 0, 100, 60, 40, and 120, 0. And whichever one of those tells you will minimize your costs for the ordering of your wonderful, awesome freezer sale that you are having at your store. I need a new chest freezer. I need a bigger one. My kids eat a lot of food. We made the mistake of introducing our children to crab legs. Now it's all they want to eat. That's expensive.
So to find the intersection point, you just solved one of the constraints.
Yep.
How do you
That's how we always do it.
Yeah.
How do you know that C equals 100 minus
I'm just getting C by itself. C plus U is 100.
Yeah.
Subtract U, C is 100 minus U. That's it.
Oh, okay.
I'm using a quick one-step substitution set. That's all. It's faster than taking this and multiplying it by 40 and then rewriting it. It's just quicker. That's all. There's many ways of doing it. That substitution is always the quickest if they're already by themselves. And that's the method we did it with a lot of the other problems we passed on too.
Oh, okay, yeah, I get it. I was just, yeah.
You're overthinking it.
Yeah, I was trying to see how you got rid of the C, but yeah, I'm overthinking it.
Back in, let's see, is it this one? Where's it in the book? Ah, here. What I want you guys to do tonight. Yes,
Should we
sir.
get on the notebook?
Yeah, I'll show. It's in the old Algebra 2 book. Remember how you guys did the problems out of the old Algebra 2 book in that section 3.4?
Yeah.
21, 22, and 23, please.
Oh, so that's just after the,
Yeah.
What page?
It's that same page you guys did those constraints. Say 167. So it's that 3.41. We'll do 21, 22, and 23. Of those 3, 22 is the easiest. It'll probably take you about 2 minutes to figure that one out. It's real quick.
Wait, can you say all of them again? 21, 22, and 23, page 167.
I'll show you where the link is
Wait,
again.
it's in the old book, right?
Yeah, I'll show you the link. I think I still have that linked on the same page. Yeah, go ahead.
What page is it?
It was the old Algebra 2 book. I already have that link for that section here. It's that same section you guys were linked to the other day.
I mean, I
So Wednesday, what's today's date? 9/7? And we'll do that. Everybody got that okay on there? It's that same little tab out right here. 21, 22, 23. Apparently we're still working on trying to get this whole Pearson thing to work. It still doesn't work. I found out that we're not the only ones in the country that are having this problem. So I know, as much as I thought that we are, just this crazy bunch of people, there's other people across the country that still have the same issues. They don't know why. They have no idea why. So we're paying for it, but it's not working. I've been keep mentioning to them that the book needs to work on your guys' phones, because I know it doesn't. It should. You should be able to access a textbook on any platform at any time, because that's just stupid if you can't. But that's just me. I'm just a peon. I'm the little cog in the wheel of life.